Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 most creepiest things found underwater. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Among the macabre and wondrous wonders found beneath the sea are locomotive graveyards, ancient civilizations, failed military warships, and bizarre aquatic species. The ocean is a vast body of water that covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Even while humans have only mapped and studied a small portion of it, we've discovered some incredible things. Let's dive in and explore some of the most crazily weird and interesting objects that call the deep blue sea home, from underwater ruins and museums to incredibly unique, and downright terrifying, aquatic critters. Number 10. Numerous lost cities. The lost civilization of Atlantis isn't the only one buried many leagues beneath the sea. Near Greece, Japan, and India, the ruins of at least a dozen fallen towns lie hauntingly at the bottom of the sea. Cleopatra's submerged palace is one of the most renowned underwater ruins from antiquity. When an earthquake and tsunami struck Alexandria, Egypt, more than 1,400 years ago, it was thrown into the sea. Xicheng, also known as the Lion City, is located at the bottom of China's Chandao Lake and is one of the most spectacular, and startlingly intact, submerged civilizations. But this one isn't old. In fact, it was flooded in 1959 to make way for a dam and an adjacent hydropower station, thankfully after the city's residents were transferred. Number 9. A locomotive graveyard. New Jersey is known for a lot of things, but deep-sea railway wrecks aren't one of them. At least, they weren't until 1985, when two unusual trains from 1850 were discovered in 90 feet of water in Long Branch. The steam engines are steeped in mystery since no record of their loss, or even their construction, exists. The locomotives were never reported missing, but it's thought they were caught in a violent storm while being hauled across the Atlantic Ocean without passengers. Under a thick layer of rust, they are strangely preserved. Number 8. A fleet of military battleships. Hundreds of military battleships, aircraft, and submarines were sunk during Operation Hailstone, a surprise strike on Japan's imperial fleet during World War II. Over the course of 2 grueling days in 1944, the trucks sank off the coast of the Caroline Islands in the South Pacific. The catastrophe, known as Japan's Pearl Harbor, killed thousands of soldiers, and the wreckage remained uncovered until the late 1960s, when the great Jacques Cousteau studied it. It's now known as Truck Lagoon, and it's just one of many strange tourist destinations around the world. Number 7. A suspected UFO. People in the globe are divided into 2 groups: those who believe we have been visited by extraterrestrials and those who do not. People in the first category are more likely to believe that an item discovered by Swedish divers on the Baltic seafloor in 2014 came from space. After all, it was described as UFO-shaped. However, most experts and skeptics believe the disc-like object is simply a rock of unknown origin, or potentially a meteor. Number 6. Spiders that can breathe underwater. There are many creepy crawlies that live beneath the sea, but none are as strange as an arachnid that invents a means to breathe underwater. The Argyroneta aquatica grabs a bubble from the water's surface, traps it in its web, and simply breathes it in. With only periodic excursions to the surface, this homemade gill can keep the spider alive indefinitely. Oh, the jellyfish, spiders, and sharks. The sea creatures aren't all scary, these jellies are stunning. Number 5. Shallow shipwrecks. The aerial image of people enjoying on the beach just feet away from a historic shipwreck is one of the few things that can give you chills. Tobermory, Ontario, Canada, is one location where you can watch this strange occurrence, and even snorkel to explore the Minch, the Newaygo, and Grand Rapids. Each shipwreck is at least 100 years old and is only 15 feet below the surface of the water. Don't miss out on the most amazing underwater sea riches ever discovered. Number 4. A 2,000-year-old computer. Computers are commonplace nowadays, yet they were few thousand years ago. The world's oldest computer was discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. The discovery was made by a group of fishermen around the turn of the century. The Antikythera mechanism, a rusted-over contraption that was possibly invented between 270 BC, was ultimately uncovered in 1902. Number 3. Remnants from the Apollo moon mission rocket. Leave it to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos to recover booster rocket engines from the Apollo spacecraft from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean in 2013. The Apollo spacecraft was responsible for bringing Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon in 1969. The vintage engine pieces were unearthed 14,000 feet below in 2015 and presented to Seattle's Museum of Flight as a gift. Number 2, another Stonehenge. Archaeologists uncovered a pattern of curiously placed stones around 40 feet below the surface of Lake Michigan's Grand Traverse Bay, hauntingly similar to England's famed Stonehenge. A boulder with prehistoric carvings was discovered among the stones, which scientists believe were created around 10,000 years ago during the Ice Age. Only a few years ago, the antique stones were uncovered during a search for historical shipwrecks. Here are some more old riddles that science have yet to solve. Number 1. An undiscovered billion-dollar treasure. The RMS Republic, a luxury liner, collided with another ship in 1909, and sank 50 miles off the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts, carrying with it $3 million in gold coins, a treasure worth more than $1 billion today. Despite the fact that it's difficult to picture the coins being any place other than on the ocean floor, they've never been found. And it isn't through a lack of attempting. A former island inhabitant has made it his life's quest to discover the money, and the History Channel has even filmed his so far fruitless search. Here are a few more to think about. A stone building weighing 60,000 tons. In 2003, scientists and archaeologists uncovered a massive, mystery cone-shaped structure at the bottom of the Sea of Galilee, which has perplexed scientists and archaeologists. They believe the strange object could be up to 12,000 years old, and was created by a well-organized society, but they have no idea what it was designed for. Unidentified skeletons. In 1942, a British game reserve ranger discovered hundreds of ancient corpses at the bottom of Rupkund, a lake at the base of the Himalayas in India, believed to be around 1,200 years old. The origins of the skeletons are unclear, and their position is so far away from human civilization that few people can guess how this gruesome, impromptu aquatic graveyard came to be. They could be the remains of soldiers, religious zealots on a mass suicide mission, or victims of natural disasters, according to speculation. Take a look at these sites that no one will ever be allowed to visit. A massive crucifix. A 1,800-pound Italian marble sculpture of Jesus crucified, on the cross rests at the bottom of Lake Michigan, and tourists are permitted to view it from boats on the surface. It was commissioned in 1956 by the family of a slain kid, but after they rejected the cracked statue, it was sunk in the lake and declared a memorial for deceased divers in 1962. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.